Namaste. Good to see everybody coming on board. Okay. Yay. Everybody's coming on, including me. Okay. I was going to say it's been that kind of day, but man, it's been that kind of week, that kind of month. I'm not sure how long this has been going on. But hey, here we are. We do show up, don't we? That is what's awesome. So I am going to, as we're coming on board, I'm not doing the Facebook Live little chats at the moment, only because there's just so much going on. And as some of you know, I do just 6 weeks out of the year. I do have a job. That's how I pay the bills. We have to be multitask, multidimensional, multi everything, doing several things at once. And so in my physical 3D world, I am an expert in insurance, on Medicare, corporate enrollments, all that confusing stuff. So that is what I do. It's been a blessing in my life. Who could have designed that I would only have to work intense, but 6 weeks out of the year that would carry me for the whole year to be able to dedicate the rest of that time to the spiritual center. So, I don't get any income from the spiritual center. That is complete service. But, for all of us that seek ye first the kingdom of God, everything is added to you. That is so very true. Because, when we realize who we are and who we're connected to, no matter what challenges or what perceives to be, I'm old enough to know that everything is going to work out okay. So I don't stress as much as I used to. It's like, why all of a sudden would that stop? I'm like, yeah, why would that just stop? That somehow you just have the faith and you stay balanced and you get the income. And it's just so amazing that if we could see beyond our limited light spectrum, in these little body wraps that we're in, so limited what it's able to do, in terms of capturing the higher light spectrum. um it's we would not stress at all. We just definitely wouldn't. So, oh, this is strange. I see my work thing coming up on this. I didn't click it, but here it is. No, we're not doing that. We're doing something way more important than that. Okay. All righty. All righty. Hey, it's good to see everybody. Hi, Deborah Henderson. Nice that you are back again and sharing your beautiful light. And it's 6:55. We'll just wait about another 5 minutes. I know people kind of gear it to come closer to 7 or 7:05. Um, Not that I don't want to do, and I will resume the Facebook live chats. I know there's some people there missing that, but you know, the the good news is that we do have a lot of content on our YouTube channel. And I may just probably contact through Facebook as a reminder to say those that kind of look out for the anchoring light, for the next couple of weeks, as I'm working, that would not be happening. But remember, there's that all that content and a lot of content on our YouTube channel. So, that's available. I remember years ago from the very beginning, the Ascended Master said, use the tools of Aquarius. I used to say it all the time. That's what they said, use the tools of Aquarius. This is like years and years ago. So, that's all the stuff like, I guess, the internet at the time and Facebook and, all the other social media outlets that are out there, which I can't even keep up with how many they are. But anyhow, we have a few of the most popular ones. And the concept behind that, which I now understand, that's how you're going to reach people around the world. And that's what's going on, which is really, very, very exciting, that, all of us touch one another in our own way. And we all, as we're all on our collective light journey, unique to us, but it is the collective movement of the ascension of beings. And we are those beings. And for many, for many of us, it's not our first rodeo. We've done this before. We're like, wait a minute, didn't I do this before? It's like, I think I did somewhere. Anyway, um, it's so worth the journey. And a lot of times I'm like, oh my God, did I sign up for this? I know many of us think about that. Did I sign up for this? Because most certainly it's not necessarily a walk in the park. I think that most certainly once you get into higher mastery, it gets, easier. But even then, even the ascended masters, they got their stuff that they got to do too, because it's just a continual journey back to source, and interesting and diverse and unique. Each individual is so unique, even though we are all one. Your tone and your vibration is unique to you. So I just think that's so amazing that in the multiverse, that's even beyond our comprehension. We just can't even comprehend it. We know the higher worlds of the Azimuth and the unknowable, as Thoth have said in the Emerald Tablets, that's just beyond, 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 beyond. But all of that, your tone, your vibration, the color that you emanate, the geometry that you are, as you're, tapped into the gematria of our planet, into our solar system, into the galaxy, into the universe, and tapping into all the other stuff that goes on is unique and can be identified from the higher realms. And that is why, like, for example, you may have, some people, for example, who are mediums, they have that vibration that dis disincarnate entities that had a physical body, that don't have a physical body now, at least, in this planetary system, can identify that person. It is not by how they look. Okay, it's really by the emanation of energies that they send out. Also, too, you are unique. They can identify you. Um, like, for example, if you end up in an astral plane, that can happen. Maybe you ate too much or drank too much or hang around some people that may be low vibration or whatever. There's a numerous reasons that you can end up in an astral plane, or there's something there for you on the astral plane to be experiencing in your own spiritual growth. Sometimes you're on the astral plane to assist on the astral plane, to help, and other times, but it's like, for example, I had experience once, and the experience I had on the astral plane, I knew I was on the astral plane. It was sort of like in a kind of a seedy kind of neighborhood. It was like kind of dark and dim. And I'm like, what am I doing here? I saw some alcoholics, in the street, and they were drinking whatever they were drinking, liquor. And I was just standing there like, what? And then I saw someone pass by, it was a man, and he spotted me. He was like, huh, what are you doing here? I guess I was emanating light. I'm not sure. But I tell you what, he recognized me. He came up to me with a knife and he stabbed me in my right side. And when I woke up, I had pain. I mean, that was a real experience. I mean, I had pain there for a couple of days where I was stabbed in the astral plane. And so, what you do is that even when you have conscious memory, you just start to, just put the light around you. But guess what? I now hang out in the astral plane because I got a job to do. I'm bringing light to the astral plane. So that little demon guy that came stabbing me, I'm like, oh, no, you can't, not now. How far we grow, on our personal journey. It's just really amazing. What's really great, and I think about it through a very challenging time in my life, a perception or a thought of a book that came to me at that time in my life. And one of the things it said was, why don't you look at life and all there is like an adventure? That you don't know you don't know if you're going to go on a trip, if you're booking an adventure for some trip that you're going to go on, you haven't been there before, right? You don't know what's going to take place, but you're excited about going, you're anticipating going, and that whatever unfolds in that particular vacation and that trip and that venture that you have, it's you're going to be in the moment and you're going to experience it, right? And you're looking forward to it. And so this wisdom came, and in this book that I was guided to read, and what it was is Celestine prophecy from long, 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 long ago. The Celestine prophecy, it says, why don't you look as your spiritual journey and all that happens in your life as an adventure? I went, and that just took all the fear away. It's just like, yes, I could look at it as an adventure. So I always tell people, if you see something that's kind of scary-ish to you or unsure, want to think of it that you're going on a great adventure, and it kind of shifts that energy. So, as you move on your spiritual path, your skills come on board, you become more confident, you remember who you are, then you step into your power, then you live your life fearlessly, you attune your discernment, and you really tap into that higher guidance. That's great. And I tell you what, that is way easier, way easier than not doing that and being caught up into a mindless chaos where people don't understand what the heck is going on. Why is this happening? And of course, why a lot of stuff is happening. It doesn't even originate in this level. It comes from the higher planes. But first of all, you have to have people remember, like, hey, wait a minute, there's something more going on than this little planet. There's a bigger picture to it. So what about those people that don't have a clue? They don't even have a clue that there's something beyond it. They think I'm here, I live, and I actually I remember this. It was some documentary, and the documentary was about, the black market and, those illegal trades that take place for the sake of money. So those are various scams that are out there, the people that are just scamming to take money. That's their profession. And so they were interviewing these kind of people from all around the world. And this one guy, his scam was something to do with investments, and he just built all these gullible people. In New York, they had a saying, there's a sucker born every minute. So anyway, I guess there's some truth to that, because there are people who live a career around that, which is why you do need to be very discerning in everything you do. And this guy who had, a big boat or a yacht, I mean, he built people from around the world, very sophisticated financial scheme. And they asked him, he said, sometimes you're building, people's life savings. Do you have any kind of remorse or any kind of humanity? His response is, well, you come into this world, you live, and then you die. So I may as well make the very best of it. I'm like, oh, wow. So I was like, wow, this guy really believes that. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to step over people. I'm going to steal and cheat and do whatever I need to do to make sure I have the best life ever in this life. Is he going to be in for a rude awakening? Well, anyway, God bless everybody. We're all on a spiritual journey. Okay, so it is 7:05. It's wonderful to see everybody here. I'm going to open up the chat and just ask if there's anybody who's here for the very first time. If you would please let me know. I'm looking at mostly familiar names, but I just want to make sure that if somebody's here for the very first time, we want to welcome you. Always good to tell a little story as to how this all works. If you could just go into the chat and say, my first time here. Okay, now I do have an announcement. And through all of this stuff that I'm doing, including the farmer's market and doing end of enrollments for the last quarter, I'm going to New York. I'm leaving tomorrow. So New York is my hometown, and I'm actually going for a high school reunion, believe it or not. And I decided to go and felt to go. And so I'm going to be there for 1 week. I'm taking a week for myself to go back to see old friends and family and that sort of thing. And so I'm not going to be here in my house next week, Monday, but my intention is to do the anchoring light from New York where I'll be staying. And if that does not work out, I have my dear sister of light, Susan Waters, who's in the past has helped when I could not physically do an anchoring light, and used one of our recordings, which is just as powerful. You know, if you ever miss something or want to repeat it again, you could always go on our YouTube channel. The same frequency is there, the same power is right there. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. And hi, Vanda. I'll catch up with your email. I haven't had a chance because I've been so super duper busy, but I did glance at what you had to say. And I probably, when I'm at the airport, that's really when I'll have time in between flights, when I can actually take some time and catch up on my stuff. All right. So it is 7:08, and we're going to get started over here right now.